Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is The Right Way to Barbecue, and this channel is going to be dedicated to teaching you how to cut, break down, prepare, and then finally put it on the barbecue for your final product. Hopefully after watching these videos you have learned some tips and tricks and some things that you have not learned before. I'm brand new to YouTube and I just started my journey and I hope to bring you along with me. This large cut of meat is a chuck roll primal. You can get multiple cuts off this big piece of meat. It sits up against the ribs, the ribeye. So the very first cut on the chuck roll is part of the ribeye because they were connected at one point. Remember, only the first cut on the chuck roll is a chuck eye. Sometimes cutters try to sell you the second cut and it is not as tender. This is the chuck eye. By removing the Denver or the short on top of it, it is an extremely tender cut if it truly is a chuck eye. After removing the top muscle that's on top of the chuck eye, you trim it up and then split it down the middle to get two nice steaks. These chuck eyes are good with just salt and pepper, or maybe your favorite rub. Medium rare is the best way to cook them, resting to make sure the juices redistribute before you cut them. Man, they look delicious. Now for the second cut off the chuck roll. This can either be called a chuck pot roast, or you can cut this into a chuck steak. And if you're a bad butcher, well, you take the eye out and you call it a chuck eye, and then everyone thinks the chuck eye is actually tough, but it's just the wrong cut. Chuck roasts are poor man's burnt ends. I have a video on my channel if you want to see how to make them. Now we will remove the short rib, or some people call it the Denver, off the face of the chuck. Once you trim this up, it's only a small piece. But with the trimmings, we'll use hamburger, so that doesn't go to waste. But when we cut this open, you'll be really surprised how much marbling this actually has. This is a choice grade chuck roll, but when you cut it open, it looks like it's a prime, but it's not. This is a good little secret steak, and if you can get a hold of one of these, they are absolutely delicious. My favorite way to cook them is with some prime rib rub to a medium rare. And they are a good little treat and a nice little nugget to know about. Of course, always let it rest and then slice. All of these cuts are individual videos on my channel. I hope you subscribe and I'll see you around.